If man has conquered fire for over 1,000,000 years now, then why are we still talking about it so much? I get asked all the time, either in comments or emails or just questions out when I'm camping, what do I use to start my campfires? And when I tell them this, the Benzomatic, I usually get a strange look, or they'll tell me I'm cheating or something like that. But hey, whatever starts a fire starts a fire. You can use lightning for all I care. But the end result is, I think everybody's looking for the most convenient and effective way to start their campfire. And you know, the market is just flooded. I mean, there's so many different, we get it. There's so many different types of fire starters out there. And then there's 1,000,000 different videos on how to make your own fire starters. And I'm kind of taking that into consideration here. So being as cheap as I am, and I don't really want to go buy anybody's fire starters, I decided I'm going to make my own. So today I'm going to make 3 different types. So we have our Vaseline, our Gulf Wax, we have some Eggcrate, we have a whole bag here full of dryer lint. So let's just go ahead and dive right on into making our first fire starter. I've never done this before because I never really needed to. I mean, newspaper or paper towel and a match does pretty good, but you know, a lot of people, they want their fire starters. So here we go. Let's go with the easiest one first. These first ones I'm going to do, like I said, are the easy ones, and I've actually seen them out in the field and people use them. They work out real good, and it's very simple. All you got to do is just take some Vaseline and a whole bunch of lint, and all we're going to do is mix the Vaseline in with this lint and get it really saturated. We're going to roll up in little balls, and we're going to put it in this little container right here. You know, everybody has lint, and everybody usually just throws it away, but they just don't know how combustible this stuff actually is. That's why you have so many houses burned down, because they don't clean their dryer vents out. And I've read where people don't like using lint because it has, you know, dog hair, animal hair, your hair. It has all this hair in there, and they say it makes the fire stink as soon as they light it up. But you know, to each their own, I guess. I say it's free, so, and we've got it. We got an abundance of it. I think that's pretty pulled apart right there. I don't know how much Vaseline to use. I've never done this, like I said, and it's about 20 something degrees outside, and that's why we're doing this here in the garage. Well, this is a mess already. Look at that. You know, maybe worth going to Walmart and buying fire starters. Golly. So it just saturated real good. So that's what we're going to try to do. I didn't think this through. I probably should have wore gloves, huh? That's getting done right there. That's looking good. As far as dryer sheets, some people say you can use them, some people say you can't, some people say there's plastic, but then others say that, well, your clothes is synthetic, so what's the difference? Shoot, I don't know. So that whole thing of lint right there now makes that little bitty ball. And I'm sure there's some people out there going to tell me that I'm doing it completely wrong, and that's okay. I didn't say I was an expert at it, because remember, I cheat. We're going to put a little bit more Vaseline in that, because when I pull it apart, it's kind of dry. All right, so now what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to pull off just a little bit. I'm supposed to roll it in a ball, about as big as a quarter or so. And they say that's it. Put that in these little containers. Then you can put them in your backpack. And you want to pack them in there as close as you can. That way it keeps them all good and moisturized. They don't dry out. I don't know how long these will burn, to be honest. But all you need is a flint and steel, from what everybody's saying, and these will light right up. Here we go. I should now have a whole container of little fire starters right there. They say that's the easiest one. I don't know. It may work, may not work. All right, on to the second one. I don't know the name of the second one. I just know that it's a little bit more complex, so let's get after it. I went and bought this Gulf wax right here, and you don't have to do that. But from what I understand, this Gulf wax is a little bit more expensive than actually going and buying some fire starters. But if you got some old candles laying around that are too short, or you're just not going to use them, or they've melted or something like that, then you can surely use those. So I'm going to break this Gulf wax up. Get my fire lit. I got some water in that pan. I'm gonna put that wax in this mason jar right here and just let it, kind of like a double boiler. I don't know how much wax. That's about good right now. I'm gonna stick that right down in that, and I'm gonna let that go to work. In the meantime, I'm gonna take this egg carton, I'm gonna cut the top off of it, cut this little flap off. And this is gonna be the base of our fire starters. Get back into my little bag of lint. I'm gonna start pulling off some, rolling this up pretty tight, sticking it down these little egg holes, just like that. You know, there's so many videos out there about doing these. I almost didn't do this video. I was just thinking, man, there's just so much, the market's just so flooded on DIY fire starters. But I was thinking, why not? It's too cold to do anything else. I don't know how far you're supposed to fill these up, so we're just gonna fill them up to when I think is good enough. I suppose you could go ahead and soak these in Vaseline as well. Now I think all we do is just let that wax melt, and then we pick it up and we just pour it right over the top of these, and then once it dries, then we just cut them up in little squares. I don't know, let's see what happens. While the wax is melting, I have some of that Vaseline coated stuff left over, and got a piece of metal here. I'm just gonna see if it ignites, see if it's even worth it. I guarantee you flint steel won't get that going. Maybe I didn't have enough Vaseline in there. Well, I'll be darned. All right, well now I know Vaseline coated lint works, but will it start a fire? Probably so. All right, let's check on this wax. Oh, that's quite a bit of melted wax in there. I could probably go ahead and finish this one little project out and keep melting wax. You know, there's a lot of people smarter than me. They'd probably do this 2 or 3 times before they actually made a video, but not me. No, I got to do it the very first time. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to pour it right over all 12 of them little lint balls in there. And it's supposed to kind of seal it up, and then once it dries, we cut little squares. So, all right, here we go. I don't really know how much to put on here, to be honest with you. I think it's just to cover them up. All right, let's try that. I don't know, to me it needs more wax, but I'm gonna pour some more wax on there. Let me melt some more. Well, while we're waiting on that second batch of wax to melt, I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping the third way I'm gonna make these fire starters. So just like before, we started off with our normal egg carton, but this time we cut them up all in these single little cups, just like this right here. Then from there, we take our lint again, pack it in. Now this time we're gonna fold it up. We're gonna take some cotton twine and we're just going to tie it all together. Just like that. And once the wax gets all melted again, then we're going to take this, we're going to dip it down into the wax. I don't know. It worked on TV. And with the magic of camera and being able to pause, I got a whole bunch of them done. You know, I'm sure if I would have made those smaller chunks, this wouldn't have taken so long, but I got enough in there right now. I'm going to try to dip one of these just to see what it's like and see if we're even going to continue this little experiment with these. All right, here we go. I've only seen this one time, so I don't know exactly what that does or how it's going to turn out, but I mean, it was worth a shot, that's for sure. Tell you what, I may go ahead and dip a couple more of these while I've got that much wax in there. But these like to float, so you have to push them down. Now wax is easy to get off your screwdriver. You ain't got to worry about ruining it. We'll get it down there and coat it real good. That way no one can say I didn't keep them in there long enough. Huh. I don't see how these are fire starters, but hey, I'm game for anything really. You're supposed to keep them down in there until all the air bubbles go out, from what I remember. And then what you're supposed to do is just light one of these little corners like this, and it'll take off and start burning. You know, I've only seen them doing this. I've never seen them actually out using them. So I don't know if this works or not. They're a pain to get underneath that wax, I'll tell you that. All right, a couple more here. I didn't do all 12 because if they don't work, I don't want them to go to waste, all this wax. All right, all that third batch is dipped, and yeah, I just don't like how spongy these are, so we're going to go ahead and put another coat of wax on top of them, and that may be wrong, but I don't care. No one said how much to actually put on here, so we're just going to do it. There we go, we filled the whole thing up just now. Yeah, so now this is completely full of wax right here, and I don't know how you light it though. I think you're supposed to put a wick or something in there. I don't know, maybe when you can light these corners after you cut it, and I think once that cardboard paper gets going, it burns that just like it would a candle. I'm not sure. There's one more method. This is the fourth one that someone has told me about, and that's using this toilet paper roll. And I got some wax left over, so why not? I believe what they told me is they close up this end with a toilet paper roll, folding it in somehow or another to where it, I don't know, it's not really working. Anyway, stuffing this full of lint, which we've got plenty of. Something like that right there. And then taking wax and pouring over the top of that. Well, it's really soaking in. I think what I'm gonna do now is this end is still kind of cramped it up. I'm gonna just dunk that right down to the bottom of that thing. I mean, what can it hurt, right? Set that over to dry. Yeah, this egg carton is really looking good. I'm glad I put a second coat on it. And once that dries, like I said earlier, I'm gonna go in there and cut those up into 12 different pieces. Well, there you have it. There's 4 different ways to make fire starters. Now, I don't know if they're gonna work or not. Again, you know, I use the Benzomatic, and that'll start anything. But what we just made right there, I mean, that's gonna be enough to last us through the whole camping season. And by the way, we're gonna be using these this year. We're gonna be camping almost every weekend in parks all over Colorado. So why don't y'all hang with us and see which one works the best this year, because I'm gonna try them all. I'm really kind of curious. I mean, is it worth it? I don't know. I mean, it's so much easier just to walk in the store and pick up a box of 20 or 30 of them for, you know, 15, 20 bucks. Who knows? It's not near as fun though. This was kind of fun. I really enjoyed this. And what else am I going to do on a day that's, you know, below freezing and we got a big storm coming in and there's nothing else to really do. So might as well have some fun and do something in the garage. Appreciate you hanging with me. Always remember, leave it better than you found it. And if I don't see you on the trail, then I'll see you down the road.